Hello, good morning, and happy Thursday. Yes, almost through the week. Um, let's see. Any announcements or anything else? Well, yeah, so yesterday I didn't do the stream thing. I decided to ride my bike to work. It's about a 10-mile ride each way. So it's not insignificant. It's really nice. I found that I wasn't doing like the sort of exercisey stuff that I wanted to do during the day. So I think what I'm gonna do is like on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I take bike rides. Asitsu, hello. Um, which of course does mean that I'm probably gonna be not streaming on Wednesdays for a while. I should probably create like an actual schedule that I can point to as opposed to just saying every weekday. The tattooed technologist. Hello. So anyways, I think that's gonna remain for a while where I don't do Wednesday streams. But today is Thursday, which means we are back. Now on Tuesday when we left off, we got our GraphQL. No, it was our Dev API up and working and returning data from. Well, it was pretending to return Twitch VOD data, which is good. What I want to do is verify, is that still up? Because I did reboot since then. So I don't see you here. Yeah, so the actions seems to reset between times. So I want to make it so that this like actually stays up. So let's go ahead and recreate this really quickly. So we want you to be a query, comments, get Twitch, VODs. So action name, get Twitch VODs. I might want to take in an argument of the number of them, but I might also not care. So we're gonna start with this, and sample output is just gonna be a Twitch VODs result. Twitch VODs result. We've taken a data, and then that's going to be a type Twitch VOD. And you're going to be an array. Twitch VOD. And what we're caring the most about probably right this second would be just give me the ID, which is a string, and give me the title, which is a string. But we're just gonna go with that right now. All right, we're going to HTTP localhost. I actually have. Yeah, this is still working. So this is our URI. Headers I don't need to forward. We want you to be a get. Okay, keep params might be interesting. I wonder if I can set these from information inside of here. That would be really nice. But we'll have to go look at documentation for that. All right, so if I just do that, don't have the secret on, so I also need to set the permissions. I forget which one is public. I should probably just go look it up. Get Twitch VODs. So okay, Okay, Twitch VODs, data, ID and title. Unexpected. Okay, so oh, right. It's not localhost. It's not localhost. I forgot. This is sitting in the same this is sitting in the same network as that one, so I think it's called Dev API. And there we go. Okay, so now we're back to where we ended last time. What I want to do is be able to pass in query parameters to control how many we get back, because that's what I want to do. I don't want 100 back. I just want a small number of them, which I can do via. I'm pretty sure that I can do this for query parameters. So Uncle Scientist raiding with a party of 12. Welcome, Uncle Scientist and raiders. How's your stream today? Were you working on more Advent of Code? Raid and run? All right. Well, totally understandable. I think most of us in the Rust community seems to do the raid and run stuff. But anyways, have a great rest of your day. Thank you again for the raid, and I'll probably lurk on your channel tomorrow. If you were here and you don't know of Uncle Scientist, he's preparing for the next Advent of Code by going through solving previous Advent of Codes in Rust and creating a library, sort of like a module to sort of like helper modules for future ones. So it'll be interesting. I haven't done that. I really want to. For everybody else, yesterday we created Tuesday we created a mock API that basically mimics returning this. So when I hit this with Thunder Client, we get this back. Currently I'm getting, I think, 3 of these videos, but I want to change this so that we control how many we get back using this down here. So I guess other things are user ID and game ID. I also need to pass this because this is hard coded, and in reality, when I use Hasura to hit the Twitch API, obviously they don't hard code my username into this. So interesting. Get videos. The ID of the video being queried. It's required, but if this is specified, you cannot use any of the optional query parameters below. I don't think this is required. I think their documentation is trying to say either you need... Oh, here it is. I just need to read it more. Each request must specify 1 or more video IDs, 1 user ID, or 1 game ID. I guess because it's all the same color going down, my eyes just sort of glazed over it. But okay, we're using user ID, and I've hard-coded this into my request and my server. I'm just sort of pretending to be the exact same, whatever I want to be. But this user ID here, I want to make sure it's the same. So I want to set in our backend to take the query param of the user ID and just return that back to us. And this is a query parameter, right? So I want to come to actions. This one's okay with hard coding here. So let's just say we're 1, 2, 3, 4 repeated 3 times. Or repeated twice. Now if I send you, okay, so I want the user ID. If I send you and I request, oh, I need to say that I want the user ID back. That's interesting how they like made that all in one line too. Okay, so I want user ID here too. And you're gonna be, I believe, a string. And so I can come back here, show me the user ID. And you can see that these are all just completely random. I don't want them to be completely random anymore. I want these to be passed in with whatever I'm passing, which I'm doing now. So it's time to switch back to Axum. So in our dev API, here's our mock Twitch. We are getting the videos here, so I need to see how we do query params. Now, I started this project, and literally a day, maybe even less than 24 hours later, Axum had a major update. So that's fun. I have not updated that yet. That's what, 5.15? Oh, I do have 5. Okay, maybe I did it right after the update. Oh, maybe I did it right after the update and they didn't announce it until later that day. I don't know. One of those many things are true. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to get query parameters. How do I get those? Params? So query parameters, high level features, compatibility example, routing, handlers, extractors, maybe? It wouldn't be routing because it's not a route parameter. Query here. Okay, an extractor is a type that implements from request. Extractors is how you pick apart the incoming request to get the parts your handler needs. The first 0.5 released months ago. Maybe you were thinking of the 0.6 release. Oh, the 0.6 release candidate. Okay, that's what it was. All right, I saw that there was some major release thing, and I guess I didn't pay enough attention. That's like something I do a lot, is like I read through the first part of things, get really excited, and then stop reading. So I didn't notice that it was the release candidate as opposed to, hey, a new thing is out. Okay, so I want this query. Query gives you the query parameters and deserializes them. Async function query. Okay, so we've taken this query params, whereas query params implements query hash map string string. Oh, okay. So it comes in as a hash map. Okay, so here we're going to bring in query params, and you're a query hash map string string. Okay. All right. So to get the random, I'm gonna want to extract out the user ID from this. So let user ID is equal to. I guess this is gonna be an option, and I want this to be a failure if this doesn't work. So we're going to use a if let. User ID equals params.get. All right, so our key, you are going to be a just user ID. And because I'm going to want to do this again with the number of videos, let's do the trick where we then say, okay, user ID is equal to this. We'll just return the user ID here. If we have an else, we're going to do an early return. So I'm returning a JSON. I want to return a 500. User is any Serde type, so I could use a custom struct. Is that true? That would be really nice. And then I could query supports any type that implements deserialize. Okay. So what I would do then is put up here. So it's struct query. It's gonna be a Twitch videos query. We want a pub user ID is going to be a you must be there. You must be there. This is going to derive deserialize. We don't ever need to serialize this. So then I want you. So query params equals query with Twitch videos query. Okay, so then I want to update this random to take we take the count in and we take the user ID in, which is going to be a stir. And we're going to use this stir here for user ID. For user ID. Equals user ID dot to owned. Oh, impl function random. Switch video. Okay, you need. I do a new in here. Yeah. Okay. So you take in a user ID. Just stir. Okay. So then you're here. This user ID. Okay. So then back to you. You pass in. All right. So params dot user ID. And what are you upset with? Private type. Okay, so you have to be public. You're happy so far. So coming back to you. I don't have this as a user param, so if I hit this, that still works, but it's quite possible that it didn't rebuild. Did I tell it to rebuild? I don't remember anymore. Where's my composed YAML? Oh yeah, cargo run. We just do cargo run. So I need to restart dev API, which is pretty easy. We'll do a docker compose restart dev API. Okay, I would expect now that this should give me an error. A pretty bad one too. Okay. I probably need to restart you again, don't I? Oh, you don't have a status? Okay. Docker compose start dev API. Okay. Started. Let's come back to here, add in a user ID of that. Send. Uh-oh. I was hoping that would work. See if I can get a logs on this. So I do logs. I think it's like dash follow. Okay, so it compiled that stuff. Oh, okay. It wasn't done compiling. That was my problem. So if I leave you out, failed to deserialize query string, missing field user ID, but that's still running. If I just put you in here, I don't need to restart that. Okay, so that's one thing set up for us. Let's continue to look through our documentation here. Okay, so we have user ID, and that query object is great. Thank you so much for that, Isutsu. Optional query parameters. So after server, when to start fetching the next set of results. I don't need to do that. Don't need before. Okay. Number of values to be returned when getting videos by user or game ID. Limit 100. Okay, so the number of these. I want... So hub first. This is type string. So string. First is that, and then this count. So my count is a number here. So I want to then turn that into... You know what? I think I can do this as a U32. Actually, a U8. I never need over. I literally can't go over a U8, so this is fine. Okay, so first and then you are gonna be params first. Okay. So I need to restart this. I probably should switch this over to do a cargo watch instead of just a cargo run. But I would need to install cargo watch, which I guess that's not really a problem. But we do have to sit here and wait for this to happen. Any second? Running. Okay. So then we'll do first. So if I start with 3 like we did before, you work and I get 1, 2, 3. Perfect. If I say I just want 1, we get this 1. And if I want 100, we get 100. Perfect. Okay, so that seems to be working. Language, so we're doing mine. Mine are always in English, so that's okay. Period during which the video is created. All day, week, month, default all. Interesting. I don't... Like, can a video be created over a week? I'm confused by what that one actually means, but it doesn't matter. It's my VOD, so I don't really care. Sort order of the videos. Valid values is time trending views default time. Now that would be interesting. I could potentially get like popular videos and then do views, but we're gonna continue with time. Type of video. Valid values all. Upload, archive, highlight. Ooh, default all. I want the full VODs. Or do I want the highlights? So what do I want displayed on our screen? So like the idea is that in the Brooks Build platform, you go in and you see a list of the courses, But then we see, I think we want just the most recent streams, which I think are archives. Right now, if I go to video producer, its type is a past broadcast. I mean, that's what it's literally described as. That is okay. I'm gonna look at my network tab on my dashboard, but of course, if I do this, I don't necessarily. I'm concerned that it's gonna like send my stream key or something like that in the network tab. So I'm gonna do this off stream or out here. Okay, so looking at XHR, I want a list of videos. Okay, just a bunch of extensions and other stuff. There's a lot of data here, but that doesn't seem to be it. I'm seeing GQL in the name. GQL is graph query language, so that makes me think that Twitch is using GraphQL too. Okay. Content IM. Manually aligning my HTML code. Oh, like Twitch. Oh, Twitch messages. When was that from? Oh, wow, that's ancient stuff. This is back when we talked about the Orbit Quick Cam. I don't know if any of you remember that. We talked about getting a cam for like a webcam for Zilby. That was interesting. Okay. There it is. Okay, so I found this. So what I want to do is this top one, I want to see what its type is. So I see the title. Scope is public. Broadcast type is archive. Okay, so what they call a past broadcast is an archive. So I want this, which means we need to take this in as a parameter here. So pub, what are you? You're just type. Ooh. Okay, so I think it's type name would be a string. And there's a way for me to tell, oh, I think I do it in here. Rename type. Okay, so I want this to be archive. we're going to pass this in. Okay, so we have video type, which is renamed to type, which video type is this one here. So I want it to be archive. So to verify that I'm doing this correctly, interesting. So this is all, I see them sending it back as all uppercased. You want this to be all lowercased. I don't actually know if it's gonna matter. It might just be fine. Okay, so then archive, I want, so random, you're gonna take in the video type, which is a string for this Twitch video new. We can pass in, actually you don't have to be a string, you can be a reference. Video type goes in here. Cannot use the existing enum for the type. I can. I'm doing some Surde fun. So I'm taking in, here is a string. Oh, I get what you're talking about. Yes. Type name. I do need it to be renamed to type so I can pass it in as type, but you're not the string. You are Twitch video type, which I need you to be public then. Twitch video type. We're gonna pass in, okay. Okay, so we have the first, we have the user ID, and then we pass in I want you to implement clone and copy because you're just an enum. Okay, so this is going to be params dot type name here. We'll do video type, and you are a Twitch video type. Okay. You then take this down and we pass you to video type. You take video type. You are a Twitch video type. And we don't have to do random on you. We just do that. Okay. Video type. Wait, how are you not initialized? Video type. What did I do with you to not be used? Oh, yes, this is not an object, so I don't need to do that at all. We're just doing that. There we go. Now we use you in here. Okay. Let's see whether or not that works. So once again, we will, let's see, I want to restart and Docker compose logs dev API. I think it's dash F, uh, whatever. I'll just do one at a time. I forget if it was a dash capital F or a dash lowercase f. That was fast. Logs. Oh, lowercase f. Now I gotta wait until it says it's running. So we get all the warnings. So this is going to be type, and I want this to be archive, like that. Okay, so running. Hit U, and then video type is archive. Now, out of curiosity, if I do something like archive, no, that didn't work. Okay, so if I do capital A archive, can you figure that out? You cannot. Okay. So it needs to be this. That's fine. That's what the documentation shows that it needs to be. Which means that if I do... Okay, so then this is good. It's working the way we expect it to. The type for all of these should now be archive. Perfect. Okay. Next up. Oh, and that's everything. That's all of our optional query parameters. Everything else is responses of what we can get back. Okay, so I want to update you to take this in. So we have user ID, we have our type, which is archive, and we have first. We're going to get just the first three. So that's what it's going to look like. So if I save you, no other changes. I just want the ID, user title, and user ID, and we get it. Okay, so next up, I want to save this. So that way I don't have to redo this over and over and over again. The code is going to be the same. So just restarting the server part, the API, that'll be fine every time. Hasura, though, doesn't seem to be fine. But I might be able to fix that in here. So inside of Hasura, I have this .env, which has the super user ID for localhost. So I can do, I want to do Hasura C to, I don't want to do an apply. I want to do an export. Oh, and skip automatic update check on command execution. That's probably a good idea. Okay, so that's why I did that. So that exported the metadata. So there's these metadata, migrations, production, and seeds. It's in production. Oh, secrets. I don't necessarily want to look in there. I shouldn't have. This is all the local secret stuff. So now I'm concerned because I've been posting all this to GitHub. I need to know what's in there. Let's take a look. Let's delve into GitHub and see what I have on there. So this is Brooks builds. Database. Oh, and it's in this other branch. I think we're on 34. Yes. Okay, so Hasura, production. That seems to be not that bad. So it's a shell script for how to upload the secrets. So it's just AWS S3 sync secrets with a bucket, which, okay. I don't know if I want it in there though. So I might just like remove that out. Okay, so integrations default. Okay, so in metadata, oh, here's our actions metadata, which is empty right now, but we just exported that. So now inside of metadata, so we have actions.graphql. So here's the actions that we created. We have the types, and we have the actual a YAML file describing what that action is. So if I want to change anything more, this is where that goes. But I suppose we're not completely done yet because I want to update Hasura to use what is it called? Inputs here for this. Because like I suppose I could hard code that I want 3 in, but it would be great. And user ID, I probably want to hard code that too. So that way nobody could come in and just sort of just say, well, I just want to look at these other users' ID and get that. It's like, no, it should always be mine. Therefore, we're going to hard code this as like get mine. But get the first 3, maybe I want to control that through an input. So how would I do that? So, all right, so git Twitch VODs. Oh, right, we have a, I think it was like args. Which now, of course, we've lost. I could create a new sample input. So it's input. That's what it is. So input. This is going to be Twitch. Get Twitch VODs input. You are going to be the count. So we're going to call this first, and you are a int. Now, how do I set you to be this? right, let's go to help. Okay, so we're doing a query action. So custom types, the action handlers. Well, okay, let's just go through this. Okay, this is a mutation query type action. There's our sample input. So I want okay, so this takes in numbers, which is an int. Create the action handler. Okay, so they're creating a Node.js Express application to handle this. Body input. So that's not query code. That's JSON body is what they're sending. URL templating. No, that's not what I want to do. Although this would be interesting because then I can set the metadata once and it applies everywhere in my production and my dev, as opposed to just dev here. Okay, so that's... Wait, so does it just auto-magically send that as the body? Okay, so where are we right now? We are in creating actions here. So custom types? No, that's not it. Action handlers. It's not, oh, because it's a request, and so we're overriding it to do a custom. Okay, so not async. Oh, they'll allow for like cogen for like backend type stuff. Don't need that. Deriving actions. I don't think that's what I want. REST connectors. Okay, so that's... Okay, so I can use body, maybe? $body? You can transform your request URL, which would include the query handlers. Okay. Query parameters. Oh, okay, here we go. So they use handlebars, session variables, accessor user ID. Okay, so that's like the it's not session variables then. Do you have like a list of them? So that was session variables. Oh, yeah, so I have this here. So I have body, original body of action request, base URL. Okay, so I think it's going to be body. So looking at this, this is going to be open like that, body. Now, what do you do? And then it's square brackets to reach inside of it. Okay, so then square brackets, and then I want, so the input would be first. Is it with quotes? It is with quotes. First, like that. Okay, so if I save you and you are, oh, we haven't acquired you yet. So you are, oh, I forgot to put you in here. Huh. Input? What you are? Yeah, input. Okay, so input, Twitch, VOD, input, you're going to be first, and you are an int. Okay. Okay, so Twitch VOD input. I want input. I don't know if input is the right word. That seems to be a keyword. So, what did you call this? Actually, just look at you. You are arg1. So, arguments. Arguments, Twitch VOD input. Okay. So then, so if you're arguments, down here you'd be body arguments. First. I'm confused about that. Oh, I went back down here. REST connectors. Yeah, that just does session variables. Oh, and the final value should be in our preview here. So invalid body, I think. Oh, see, I don't have any of those. And that's not what I want to get. So body arguments doesn't seem to do it. Arguments first. Invalid path body dot arguments dot first. How about body dot first? First isn't like that. And if I just put in body, cannot interpolate type. So arguments, invalid path, okay. Invalid path, so it isn't like this either. So we have args first, which FOD input is here. I just want to pull that out. It does make me wonder whether or not this really is the body. And this is just sample environment variables and sample session values. That's not the body. I can't do, okay, can do arguments dot first like that. No, you don't like that either. Base URL. Okay, so URL template. I wonder if I want to do something like this. It's like, okay, we can see here that this is where it's trying to go, and we're trying to put this first in here. And so if I just add something like that, that adds it in here. So that's fine. Then I want to do body. Okay, that literally is that thing. I want body. Can I interpolate object? What if I do this here? So body dot arguments. So it's no longer saying anything about an object, which makes me think that I'm on the wrong path here. It's like I want to get into body, but I want to get into body to show this thing here. I have this arguments. I'm guessing that this is, okay, maybe it's not body. Maybe it's not body. Maybe base URL. Original configured webhook handler URL. and then session variables. You can generate a custom request config body by configuring a template to transfer the default payload to a custom payload. Request body could be provided using the body field as an object, which additionally gives the ability to disable request body, transform request body to application or transform. Okay, so as an object. Body transform key action. I'm so confused on like how to reach into the body and get something. Input arguments. I was really hoping they would have like an example. So the assumption here is that the body is the outgoing body. Which would be maybe the input here. Okay, so this could be multiple inputs though, which kind of sucks. I want first, and we don't see what this is. Body input arguments. Let's try it. Let's try it. So body input arguments. So we have body here. If I put in input, ooh, cannot interpolate type object. Okay. Arguments. First. Okay, so invalid path. So maybe it's dot input dot arguments. Put that first. Invalid path on these. Doesn't like any of these. I see it's trying to like go in through dots, which is kind of weird. Okay, so body input dot doesn't like that. Okay, so body input gives me that entire thing. Cannot interpolate type object. Okay, so I now have input here, I believe. So arguments is what I added. Is this like an array where? Oh, this probably is an array. It's probably accessing the body. Okay, so this is accessing object using square bracket notation, as is my guess, is what's happening here behind the scenes. So then I would want to then further go into there. I would think that arguments would be the same, the next thing. But invalid path. If I try something like dot, invalid path, body input, yeah, so like I don't think it's like an array, right? Yeah, expected array, it's an object of some kind. I don't think I can go first because invalid path. If I try like arg0, let's say, invalid path. Okay, so it's not getting an object from that. And I don't think I can do like arg0 first. No. Input arg0 in here. No, because then it doesn't get the object at all. So input, we need to do that. Now I don't think I do that into here. No, because it's not expecting a dot inside of there because it's just, I think this is just JavaScript normally inside of the template handlebars, which means it would have to be outside of the square brackets. So either a dot on arg0, invalid path, or another set of square brackets with arg0, but this unexpected token, so then you have to be a string and invalid path. That's what it wants, unless it's like 0, but expected array. And this also isn't the first. So this is, okay, so let's see if we can Google this. Asura actions query arguments. But this is normal queries. This isn't yeah, this isn't an action. So I need to make sure it's part of actions. So you are plus, I think plus is required. And then I also want this to be a get rest. So here is a issue. Still open from over a year ago. Wait, no, under a year ago. Half a year ago. Over half a year ago. Wait a second. So query parameters here. Is it just gonna magically do it? Do I have to name it like query parameters? Do you have examples in here? I don't see any examples. I don't see like an example folder. Okay, so what if we'd be much simpler about this? So instead of this being a type, what if we say we're not going to do a type there? We're just going to say that you are first, and that is a int like that. And so then I want body first here. Input. So I can get body input that, then I can't get first out from there. Okay, so additional query params, if I remove you, you're not going to ask for it, are you? We're probably going to get an error, aren't we? So you think that everything's fine. We come back to here. We say, first, I want the first 10, let's say. Go. Unexpected, not a valid JSON response from webapp. Okay, so we got an error. I bet if we would go and look at the logs. Docker compose. Yeah, I don't know if you're actually gonna. Yeah, that just responds with the error. So we're not sending this as part of query params, even though it's a get. Okay, that's our. So we want first. I can't do input. I can do body. I can't do first. So I can do body. Can't do first. I can do input here, which is then back to another object, and then it's just sort of like, eh. So invalid path, if I try to save it, first equals 10 on this one. When I still have that. So hold on, if I go back and come here, you saved that. Wait, are you gonna work? So first 10. I got 10. Give me 1. Okay, so what did we learn today? We learned that Hasura has this is the first major flaw with Hasura that I found that just makes me go like, "Argh!" Okay, so this is a bug. This is clearly a bug. This works. Absolutely, this works, but it's yelling at me that it can't do the preview. But then when I save, it clearly does the preview and figures it out. Do I need to have a default on you? Okay, so let's try this. We have first int equals 5, let's say. If I do that and hit save, can't do that. Do first. Now you're happy, but like the default you give me here is 10, which is not the default. Okay. I don't know, but that seems to work. So I'm happy with that. That seems to be up and running. I can now get 1. I can now get if I don't put this in here. Oh, okay. You assume it was confused because it wasn't required. Oh, I could put a required on this. I think that's an int. Oh, the equals went away. So required. Save. So now this is required like that. Goes. Now, I guess I can't put on a default on there. Which would be really cool. Equals like 15. Yeah, that goes away. If I do equals 15 here, not happy either. Okay. All right, well, this is the best I could probably do. So save you, back to API. Now we know that we have to pass in first here. And so I can say like, I want 3 of them. And there we go. We get 3 of them. So perfect. Excellent. I could set in some of the other things too, but because I can't do because I can't set defaults on it, I want it to always be type archive. I want it to always be this. Later on, maybe I can make that change. Yeah, okay. So that makes sense to me. Okay, so final thing. I want to come back into here and save this. So we're going to do our Hasura metadata export. Export that again. So next time I reload this, that action should be there. So then everything should just work from the beginning, which means we should be able to dive back into U and start displaying the courses into u.rs, which will be great. Also, just because I want to remove this production folder. So let's do I think it's like git remove production. Git remove r production. Go all the way back here. Okay, so deleted that. The historical one is in there. That's probably fine. I just don't want it to continue to be in there in case I think like, oh yeah, this is safe for me to have, like, to put something in. So I'm going, let's see, everything else Mod videos, GraphQL, and YAML. That seems to be fine. So we're gonna do a get commit. And what did we do? We set up actions in Hasura to return, I guess like Twitch VODs. All right, and that is pushed up. Well, with that, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. The plan is to be back tomorrow morning, Friday, at around 7 a.m. Mountain Time. We'll go for about an hour and 15 minutes or so, and we'll continue working on this project. Looks like we're going to be in Vue.rs for tomorrow, which will be great. So with that, hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.